Right, this one we really are going to just make it look like I'm not drinking vodka. Oh, hi everyone, it's Grizz. Yeah, I'm just drinking tea, just tea today. Right, so we're back once again for the Renegade Master, something like that. Looks like I've got like kind of, I don't know, like Mickey Mouse ears because of the Ducati exhaust. That's a bit weird. Anyway, yeah, last video I said I was going to do loads and loads of stuff, but it didn't really work out because fitting on the exhaust system, yeah, it was just a bit more fiddlier. Grizz was taking his time over it. I didn't record a lot of it, I'm sorry guys. I just wanted to really kind of concentrate and focus on it. And yeah, I'm happy with that. I'm happy that I've taken my time. I'm happy that it's all safe and secure and in place. I've done a proper job. I've not over tightened anything. And it's all nice and not going anywhere. So I'm happy with that. But there are jobs obviously that need to be done. Does that make any sense? The radiator needs to go on. Need to get that all set up. I need to get the front forks on. Before I put those on though, they do need a clean up. Let's have a little look at them. Here they are. I mean, the tops are just everything on this bike. Corrosion's attacked it a little bit, so I need to clean that up a bit. The kind of actual legs need a little bit of a clean. The rest of it's not too bad. So, but just get a bit of a general clean up. The fork seals are really good. Again, I'll just give them a clean up before those go on. Yeah, the brake discs need to go back on the front wheel and get the front wheel back in. Yeah, that's kind of about it. I've took delivery of a rear brake disc, which I managed to find a nice cheap one, but it looks quite good quality. So hopefully that will be good. Still waiting on the swing arm. Still waiting on the swing arm castle nut socket to remove the swing arm spindle. I'm still waiting on that to arrive. So I can't strip down the back end yet, but there are lots of other jobs to take care of in the meantime. Let's get on and get the radiator fitted. Right, that was a bit fiddly. Now I need to put, I've just loosely done up the tops of the radiator. You can't really see, can you? I've just loosely done up at the top here on both sides. And then done these two screws up here. And now there's one more fixing point on the bottom here. Need to get that one in. It's all rather tight though, if I'm honest. Doesn't seem like there's a lot of room in here. I'm also replacing some of the bolts because the other ones were completely rusted out. That was on there originally and broken off. So let's see if I can get this in. It's a bit flipping tight. It's taken for flipping ever and ever. Right, so I'm going to put the radiator pipe back on. Just looking at this old connector here. he's looking a bit old, a bit rusty. So I just went through my arsenal of bits and pieces, and I've got a replacement in good order, so I'm going to chuck that one on. Some other bits and pieces I've noticed, like some of the connectors in here are quite dirty. I'll get a bit of WD-40 in there before those go on. Yeah, let's get the rad pipe back on, baby. Bosh. Let's do that one up a bit. Set one on, nice and secure. Let's get this wire back on. Connector for the radiator fan on. Let's do the other side. Right, the other pipe on. Real technical stuff, this. Right, now let's get the front wheel sorted. Before I put the front discs on, I want to clean them up a little bit. They're not bad actually, they're pretty clean. I'm just going to give them a little wipe down with some brake cleaner and just check over, see if there's any kind of chips here and there that I could just probably touch up, which there are a few. I can already spot, like, it looks like there are actually a lot on this camera, but there's a few little chips. So I'm going to touch those up with a little bit of the famous satin black and a brush. Is real technical stuff. So give them a wipe down, brake cleaner, let it dry off, touch up all the little scratches with some paint, and then we've got the old disc bolts. Ooh, dropped one. Yeah, they all need cleaning up because they've all got the thread lock still on them. So I'm going to use a wire brush to clean those up, and then we can put it all together using a bit of thread lock to stop the bolts from flying out. Let's get it on. Right, that is those painted up. Can't say it's the most world's amazing job, but they're painted. They're a little less kind of battered. Looked a bit newer there, a little bit to the eye. I'm not kind of going for perfection here. In the past, I would have done stuff like maybe take the disc apart and just respray that in there, but I'm not going to mess around too much. I want to get it back together. Maybe at some later date I could refurbish them, but they're not really that bad. Right, let's get on and clean up the brake disc bolts. That. Right, now it's time to get on the brake discs. I'm using some thread lock on the bolts, but I've just found that it's all set in the tip here, in the nib, in the end. So I've put some liquid in there, and I'm just going to apply it to the bolts as I go. I try not to get everything covered in the thread locking stuff, in the thread lock stuff. So line up the brake disc like so, and let's start our first one. I'm not going to put a mass on there, but I guess it's a fair blob. Putting it in like so. Get him started. Let's do another one. So that is the front wheel done, all ready for going on the bike. Now I'm going to move on to the front forks. Right, so front forks, let's take a closer look at them. I mean, let's have a look at the adjusters. The adjuster on the bottom here, it works, it turns, so that's good. I'll check that for adjustment and make sure they're both set to the same settings. It needs a little bit of a clean up on the bottom here. We can take care of that, no problem. The actual, as I've probably already showed you, the actual kind of stanchion is in very good order. No heavy pitting or anything like that. And saying that, there are a couple of, I can't see it I expect on this, but there's a couple of wear marks on here. 1, 2 marks. Slightly, no real ridge, but there is a little bit of wear there. But I'll clean that up and keep that in mind for future. Now the ends of the forks are like, can you see that? The tops are like all dirty, and I don't know how much of that is corrosion, how much that is going to come off, what the finish is like underneath, but it's quite rusty, so it needs cleaning. And the top adjuster as well, let's have a look at that. Does it move? Yes, it does. Again, I'll check that over and make sure we've got the same adjustment on both forks. And the very top adjuster, that works as well, so that's good news. So just a clean up. Let's get and give it a clean. I've got some, what was it, Muck Off silicone shine. Now this is for use on push bikes. I don't have much of it sadly, but it's for use on springs, rear suspension, fork stanchions, handlebars, fork seals. It's just a silicone spray, so I'll finish off with that. Sadly, I also don't have much WD-40 left. Please send me WD-40. I'm running like super low. So I'm going to use, not sure what I'm going to use to clean it up yet. I'm going to use a bit of brake cleaner because I've got loads of that to get off the main dirt off of here and the main dirt around it. I'll keep it away from the rubbers. I don't want to kind of aggravate the rubber. But on from that all metal work, I'll do that with some brake cleaner. and get the main of the dirt off, and then I'll go on to using my sacred amounts of silicone cleaner and WD-40 to get everything tickety-boo even. Right, let's get on with it. Right, so given the fork a bit more of a clean up, and it's quite clean in general now, but the top of this fork, it's all, well, I don't know if the original maybe gold coating has come off this, but I'm going to use, it's a bit corroded, so I'm going to use a bit of aluminium auto sol and just clean up the top area here and prevent any further corrosion, any further rust. So that is the end result. That went nice and clean. That was the before. You see all the corrosion on that, just kind of super corroded, and now he's nice and shiny, nice and clean. So I'm happy with that one. I've got to do the other one now. I won't bore you with the other one now. Right, that is the forks done. Both forks nice and cleaned up. Everything works on it. All the adjusters work, so I've adjusted them out and cleaned them all up. I'll probably readjust the suspension once it's on the bike and I take it out and see how it feels now. Now we're like 20 kilo lighter. By the way, I made a miscalculation on all the weight of the exhaust system. The exhaust system, the Akrapovic system, is 5.6 kg, not 6.4 kg. So there's nearly another kilogram saving in weight. So it's a good more than, well, nearly 21 kg, which is quite massive. Let me show you the tops of these forks. Yeah, so these forks cleaned up nicely. Very happy with that. Managed to lose all the corrosion off the top of the forks. Can you see that? I don't know. Camera's not focusing very well. But yeah, they are nice and clean now. So I'm really happy with that. I've also come over to the bike and cleaned up all these areas where the forks sit in on the underneath here as well. Got some sandpaper in there and some wet and dry, and just give them a nice good clean, so everything's clean and ready for putting back together. Let's get it on. Front suspension, get the front suspension on, front forks and the front wheel, and yeah, let's get moving. Right, that is the front end on, thank God. Pretty happy with that. It's looking much better than what it was originally. So yeah, not a bad job. Everything went on nice and smoothly, no problemos. The only other things left to do with the front end now is to also give the front calipers a bit of a clean up and check those over for condition. A couple of those obviously. What else? Oh, new front brake lines as well to go on, to be bled. We'll do that. But the all important castle nut socket has arrived, so I can now take the swing arm off. So great news. So yeah, the temptation is just to finish off the front end, but I'm going to go on to the back end because I want to get the back end stripped down and see what other problems I'm facing and what other bits and pieces I might need to buy, so I need replacing. So I'm going to do that. Join me on the next one when I strip it down, get the back end stripped down. I'm going to get this off the axle stands and get the back end stripped down on the next video. Thanks for watching everyone. Catch you on the next one. Bye.